Hello everyone and welcome back for episode 4 of our Thrawn's Revenge Imperialist 4 2.2 preview playthrough as the Eriadu Authority. So in the last episode we took the whole, space portion of the Western Reaches. We didn't have enough ground units, so I just sort of kept going on the space stuff. And between episodes I've just taken a few galactic weeks here to build up a pretty considerable ground force for us. I did also do some stuff building some space units and filling out some of our infrastructure on the ground, but for the most part we should be ready to at least take Bespin, Endor, and Morja this episode, and maybe even start moving into Desevro and Woostri. But on the channel yesterday we did finish the Stargate playthrough, so if you haven't watched all of that yet, definitely check it out. I do really enjoy that mod, so if you do like Empire War mods, and that's probably why you're here, it's definitely one worth checking out. So, and tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm trying to think if there's anything that I want to do for the channel. With that, I'll probably just do a quick update video like we usually do every month, or every other month. But I'll see if anything comes to mind that I want to do for it. I really don't know. So we'll be doing I think we'll probably end up having an episode of City Skylines and Endor, but as far as like any sort of other regular video for it, I don't know. See what I'm doing that night, maybe try to do a live stream again.
Choose your reinforcements.
Oh, I already know what I'm doing that night. St. Patrick's Day. So I'm going to be doing St. Patrick's Day things.
Unit capacity.
Enemy forces ahead. Yes, sir. Engage reporting.
You decided to target the other stuff before you could target this stuff, so that's really your fault. I'm gonna wait for the... what's it called to fly back again? The snowspeeder?
Yes, Commander. Ready.
I guess you guys can sort of pop out here. You keep shooting the ground, that's fine.
On my way, sir.
May as well send these guys around.
Reporting. Awaiting orders.
It's really just the T-1Bs that I'm worried about, because they can take down our IDTs.
Target acquired. Support fire ready. Armored transport ready. Walker moving out.
Moving to secondary
Ready to
position.
move. Gearing up. Almost there.
Support order acknowledged.
Armor ready. Charge.
Moving to secondary position.
Reporting in. Commencing attack.
Alright. So there's some stuff that we did think, or that we are thinking about to resolve the issue where it takes a long time to get units deployed, and sometimes the AI doesn't like to use anything, or to get infantry deployed, and sometimes the AI doesn't like to use some of them. Basically, what we were doing during testing for the demo was using the, what's it called? Was using essentially the spawn squadron code for the infantry, and that made them all deploy really fast, but the problem with that was the AI didn't like to use them all. And we've sort of thought of a workaround for that. We're going to try to use the same sort of targeting script that we did for the survival mode, and then we should be able to make them target stuff like units normally would, and probably a little better, because then they're not going to be spreading out using the AI's weird constantly hunting for enemies behavior, where they don't actually like to group units. But the problem with that we're going to have to figure out is whether or not that causes too much lag, because it's essentially going to be retaking, or reassigning a target fairly often if you do it that way.
Form up. Moving
Let's
to
see.
fire.
You guys. There we go.
On my way. On the way.
I'm not sure where the
Target. In my sight. On the way.
where the what's it called is on this map, the power gen.
Yes, Commander. Cannon charge.
Can you shoot from down there? Yes, you can.
Awaiting orders.
Right, you guys go up there.
Affirmative, sir. Attack. Copy. Moving out. Right away.
Yes, sir.
We've secured a landing zone. I'll copy. Attack.
I guess that turret could be distracted, so that's fine. Let's get another AT-AT down here.
Heading out.
Get some more of these guys, and get the TIE Crawler in. The TIE Crawler, we're probably going to increase the cooldown on that main turbo laser cannon,
Yes, sir.
just that it's not
Yes, Commander.
quite so good.
Reporting. Fallout troops. Ready. Yes, Commander. Let's move out. Fire.
We'll back you
Brigade
up.
standing by. Ready. Let's go.
Come on,
There's some
man,
rocket
this way.
troopers in there, so we need to be careful.
Armor transport ready.
We're going to have a bombing run. Do we have a scout pike?
Reporting in.
I don't think we do. No, we don't.
Choose your reinforcements.
Well, let's grab some
En route.
IDTs
Bombing run.
and get this one to search out the turbo laser structure, or the defense thing. You're not supposed to go that way.
Unit destroyed. Unit
Roger
destroyed.
that. Keep going. Armor ready. Fire.
We'll cover you.
Unit destroyed.
Oh, there it is.
Bomber standing by.
Unit destroyed.
Commencing bombing run. Just give me a target.
Okay,
Brigade ready.
now we should be able to take out their stuff.
Form up. Open fire.
Providing backup.
Attack that target. Providing covering fire.
So those guys around that way? Oh god. Too much. I think the grenades that the regular rebel soldiers are using are still the commando ones. They're supposed to be a smaller range anti-infantry grenade, so not the same sort of thermal detonators that are used to blow up all the vehicles that the commandos use.
Deploying. I've got them on scopes. There they are.
It's a pretty simple change, I just haven't done it yet.
They're in my sights.
The thing that I was working on since the last episode was, as I think I mentioned, working on some new hardpoint indicators. So those are currently in. They're just the first mock-ups of them, though, in the first iteration. So all the weapons are getting their own. I've done basically every weapon except for turbo lasers, I think. So there's still some work to be done on that, but it's at least started. Come on, what can I kill?
Reporting in.
Copy. Attack.
Come on, man, this way.
What else do we got here?
Choose your reinforcements. Reinforcements en route. Unit destroyed.
I copy.
Let's send them around that way. Is
Over there.
there a target in there? Oh, there is. Oh, there was.
Acknowledge.
You're all good. Go up there. I'm gonna just send the AT-AT around in circles down here.
Affirmative.
Send these guys up there. Okay, so they do have a bunker.
Yes, sir. Destination set.
We'll just send these guys around the edge. I mean, they're probably going to path that way automatically because it doesn't like sending stuff over, even if they're capable of moving that way, over impassable terrain if they can avoid it. So you... Oh, crap. Oh, there we go. I mean, if you don't want to help at all, that's fine. And we'll just keep going around.
Advancing. Form up. Squad, move out.
Oh, there they are.
Right away, sir.
Bombing run available.
Squad, advance.
I'm there, nothing in there.
Bomber squadron reporting.
I'm in there.
We are victorious.
There we go. That's part of the thing with the locomotive changes as well. Sometimes they don't like to move out of the base if they're in it. But there's one planet.
Building start.
That frees up some of our space. Bespin's going to be a huge credit gain for us.
Reporting. Moving into position.
Let's actually take a break from that, and what's going to be the easier one?
Constructing. Building cancelled. Unit in production.
We'll give Pridic some help there. We're either going for Dara 4 or Woostry. I actually think Morja is going to be really easy to take, because they can't build anything anyways.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Cruiser reporting.
Uza reporting.
Coming about.
So let's check Woostry first. If it's easy, we'll just go for it anyways. I think Dara might open up another choke point for us. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Fleet approaching.
Lomtho.
Tactical battle imminent.
Alright, we're gonna get a space battle anyway, so we'll go directly for Endor after that. Endor Aftermath. Let's see. A lot of home one types. These are also called independence types. It really depends who you ask. I think Wikipedia might even call them independence types. I'm not sure, but it's referenced that way in a lot of places because it's not a real class designation. It's just referencing the kinds of ships that were in the Battle of Endor. And usually source material is just going off of it's that type of ship rather than saying that's the class designation. What? So the turbo lasers and other subsystem indicators are going to be a little bit smaller right now than they're actually going to be at when we're done with the whole rework thing. Because essentially the petroglyph, like the original game ones, were on a smaller texture sheet. So this is the mock-up, the current iteration of the ion cannon. But the PG ones, they're 64 by 64 sheets. And on the ones we're doing, we're using essentially the whole indicator at the start. But on the PG one, when you do the rollover, it adds in that extra about half the space. So half the space isn't used when you have it like this, and then it's used when you have it like that. Whereas the ones we're planning, we're not sticking with this. It's a little bit too washed out. I'm just trying to see what works and what doesn't. But it starts with 64 by 64 and uses the whole 64 by 64 the whole time. and all the time that I could have, oh my god, all the time that I could have spent actually doing something in this battle, I spent pointing that out.
TIE interceptor here. For the Empire.
We gotta go and do that. But yeah, so I scaled everything down just so that it would be the final scale now, rather than waiting till it's all replaced to do the scaling. But the main problem I have with the ones that I've done so far is that they're less defined than the base game ones. So as far as that style goes, but I'm still fairly I don't like the proton torpedo one I did either. But I'm really just messing around with it to try to see how the game renders it, because it looks slightly different than it does in Photoshop. There's the first Dauntless.
Star Destroyer standing by. Our target priority is the laser cannon.
Space station down.
Alright, we got some skip rays. So see if you can get past there and go with, nope, get the fighters in there, get all the bombers, see what you can do.
Squad reporting.
We're gonna have to get these guys around the edge. We can start going in the sides there. Because right now they're just gonna come into a few ships at once, like this Vindicator is getting hammered. Kind of like how I will be on Friday. But that's not what we want. This fight's a little one-sided. Alright. I think they had like 12 of these.
Choose your reinforcements.
What really sucks right now is we don't have our anti-fighter craft until I can use the Vigil, which isn't done yet. So that's another reason for me to have to really get on that.
Under control. Target critical. Watch him. He's coming
You guys in there.
Turning to your position.
Roger that.
The bombers to come on in the back.
For the Empire.
Batteries online.
Got to make sure that ISD stays healthy enough. So I probably won't end up redoing like the ion cannon and the proton types until after the rest of the first batch is done, just because it's always going to look kind of weird next to the differently scaled ones, especially when those feel more familiar. So that's something that needs to be out of the way before we can really make any good determinations on what we're going to be doing with it.
Weapons ready, sir.
If we had any sort of anti-fighter, this would be a much better fight, or a much easier fight. Right now we just have worse fighters and less of them. I really wasn't paying attention when they came in. Did they have... Oh, they're leaving. So I guess they don't want to waste too much. That's fine with me. It's actually probably intelligent of them. It's rare. Because they didn't throw away those other capital ships like they were gonna. Yeah, they lost their majority of their B-Wings there. That's fine. But since we're here now, let's... Well, we'll do the Endor battle, and then we'll do that invasion of Morja. Or, not Morja, of Woostri, was it? And then we'll do Morja. Just so we're doing ground, space, ground, space, ground, space.
Invasion commencing.
There they are. Blast them. Awaiting destination.
Uh-oh.
Spread out, men.
Weapons ready.
Ewoks on Endor? Who could have seen this coming? Oh god. Giant rebel forces on Endor? I regret so many things.
Is under attack. We lost the landing zone. Destroyed.
Alright, well. Yeah, they're all dead. Alright, so we're gonna have to do this differently. So the way it was working in the last bits of the Maldruid playthrough, it would drop the commander, the Stormtrooper commander, who would then spawn the 4 sergeants, who would then spawn their entire squad. But the AI didn't seem to recognize those spawned versions as their actual units, which is the problem.
Construction
How are we gonna? Yeah, we're gonna need infantry regardless, so we'll spawn that in first. But yeah, the AI didn't seem to want to recognize those other troops that it had as being troops that it had. So we're going to try going back to that system, but giving it
Scout trooper.
just sort of inherent commands.
reinforcements.
Destination set.
Reinforcements en route.
Alright, let's get some ATSTs.
On my way.
Maximum unit
Part of me doesn't want to overcommit here.
Reporting in. Engaging enemy. Scanning area.
Alright, these ATSTs need to come down.
Let's go. Right away. Fire. Concentrating fire. Moving out. Target acquired.
Alright, well, you guys do that.
Reporting. Roger that. Heading out. Form out.
Oh, you have it.
Fall out.
You go off on your own.
Awaiting orders. Let's move out. Inputting coordinates. Enemy sighted.
unit
Keep
destroyed.
going. Concentrating firepower. This way. Copy. I copy. Over there. Scouting. Reporting. Enemy spotted. Fire for maximum effect. Yes, sir. Yes, Commander.
Can you guys actually come and destroy that Ewok city?
Yes, Commander. Ready. Affirmative, sir. Ready. Yes, sir.
To this rebel training facility, who cares? Why is the icon different? That model's not even in the game, is it? What is that?
Attack! Concentrating firepower.
Yeah, you guys are not gonna have good luck with that.
AT ready.
Right, if you can all start heading down, I guess.
Walker moving out. As you wish, General. Avoiding fire! Right away. Acknowledge. Walker moving to attack. Targeting at maximum firepower.
Destroyed. Choose your reinforcements.
Alright, we need some more.
Destination set.
Reinforcement point contested.
Armor transport ready. Reporting in. All good knowledge.
Unit capacity.
Roger that. Heading out. Fall out. Out and fire.
These Ewoks are really just giving us the business.
Choose your reinforcements.
Roger that. Cannon charge. Attack. Moving out.
Reinforcement point contested.
Target acquired.
Uh-oh.
Clear the way for you.
Okay, we're gonna have to look for...
Ready. Commencing attack.
Form up.
Reinforcement point contested.
power gen.
Let's go.
Unit destroyed.
That's not something we care about.
This way.
Ready.
Unit destroyed.
Okay, so it's not over there, that's fine.
Armed and ready.
Unit destroyed. Choose your reinforcements.
Advancing.
At
Right
maximum
away.
unit capacity.
Armed and ready. Weapons armed.
I'll copy. Rolling out.
Reporting in. Acknowledged.
There we go.
What are your orders?
You run them over, they die faster.
AT-AT destroyed.
Moving to attack.
Charge.
At your command. command. Targeting.
Scanning target.
Cannons charge.
Moving to fire. Reporting. Yes, sir. Moving to position.
Choose your reinforcements.
Setting course.
So much for our giant ground force.
Destination set.
Support fire ready.
Proceeding. Attack.
Unit destroyed.
That sucks.
Unit destroyed.
Time order. Copy. In attack position.
No, you're not even attacking it. You're still not attacking it.
Setting course.
You're real, like, there we go.
Ready.
Spreading out.
Changing course.
Proceeding.
What's that on?
Unit destroyed.
Oh my god.
The enemy.
Moving out.
Commandos need to F off.
Activating.
Choose your reinforcements.
Coordinates. Right away.
Reinforcements cancelled.
Where is that power structure? Yeah, that's what I mean.
Bombing run available.
Not it. That's not it.
Form up.
That is it.
Roger that. Right away.
We're gonna go over the north side.
Run.
And you go shoot that.
Form up. Awaiting orders. Moving out. Gearing up. Heading out. Open fire.
We'll assist you.
I copy. All out.
And because this does keep coming up in the comments, everything we are playing in this GC is still work in progress, very much work in progress. The demo is only supposed to have the one GC. This isn't in it. It's only supposed to have the Hunt for Jinns GC. This is all stuff that we are still working on, which will probably come across more and more as we go through. It probably already does come across. And that is why we're doing the demo, to get feedback on the stuff that's already done before it gets too far ingrained in the mod. And so it's still at a point where we can actually edit and change things as we go. For example, the instability when Zinj dies is it seems to be tied to where some people are getting crashes when Zinj dies. It seems to be if certain factions control certain planets when it's trying to do the switch control events. And so we've determined a much better way, a much more stable way to do that, just because of the feedback from that. And the emergent faction stuff is stuff that's going to be pretty widespread in the mod. So by getting that feedback on just Zinj, or just Hunt for Zinj, we're now far better able to actually prepare the rest of the mod rather than have it already in all 19 GCs. Getting the feedback on that, being able to test it in the one GC, and then being able to, after it's already in there and tested there, we're able to actually figure out the better way before having to redo it every time. So that's essentially what we're looking for. That's why we didn't just wait until the whole mod was done to do that. Partially that, and partially because you'd be waiting quite some time if we did it that way.
On our way.
But, yeah. So if you only have one GC that you can play in the 2.2 demo, that's how it's supposed to be. Because that comment's been coming up on pretty much every video that I've put out since the demo, at least once. And do I think saying this now is going to stop that? Probably not. People don't like listening to it. So, and I think the most we've ever been asked whether or not we're going to do a canon mod was was it episode 2 or 3, where I spent most of the video talking about why we probably weren't. So, I don't know.
The enemy has been spotted.
Choose your
Maybe I just shouldn't ever say anything.
Right away.
Under attack. Closely on target. Intercepting.
Moving out.
Pursuing enemy forces.
Heading out.
Taking them out. We won't be around much longer. Engaging the enemy. I'm
Form
on
up.
this one.
The lasers are on target.
Target control.
Okay.
He's coming around. Returning to
Oh.
your position.
Snapped a toothpick.
Moving to coordinates.
How unfortunate. Alright, VSD2,
Destination confirmed.
VSD1.
Our way.
These guys aren't going to impact whether or not we can win. I think it's just the station at this point.
Open fire.
So we've got basically this whole southern section of the galaxy controlled now. We're definitely going to take Morja this episode, but I think that'll probably end up being it. So we're going to take Morja. It should be pretty easy because I think they only have like 2 infantry squads, if that. And then next episode we'll take Dara and Wooshri. And then we'll have that entire southern section of the galaxy. We might even go for the core after that, or we'll go through this. So yeah, we're going to take Dara and Wooshri. Then we'll either go through the eastern section of the galaxy here, take out those 2 rebel planets there, Bothway and Cothless. Take out this sort of area, which has actually a few rebel planets in it itself. Then we can either go into Maldrude, or we can go into the core and fight the Remnant. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys, I think, in the comments. Who do you want us to go through first? Do you want us to go through the Remnant and up into the Pentastar alignment, or do you want us to go from Rebels to Maldrude and Zinj? But for now, we are going to take the evil Prentiok out of the game.
Scout trooper reporting.
Scout Trooper reporting. I remember making this.
Scouting area.
I think this was one of the maps that I made after
On the
Kwai
way.
Zero Jin. Oh, that's a problem.
Awaiting orders.
Like 2006 or 2008, I think.
Right away.
And one of our other mappers
We've secured
Enemy
a landing.
unit
had told us that. Oh, so it's just that. We can send you guys up.
Right away. Engaging rebel forces.
Choose your reinforcements.
But he told us that he did all of his ramps by calculating. Like, he had really smooth urban ramps, and I thought he must have been using a height map for it.
We've secured a landing.
Oh, we won't be able to do the bomb drop because they started as our spawn units. But he was able to do
Choose your reinforcements.
really smooth ramps in urban maps, which is really difficult. And I thought he must be using a height map for it because otherwise you're sitting there doing it for hours, really. And he's like, no, I calculate the map, or I calculate everything just off of the angle that it's going to need to be mathematically, and then just do it by hand. It's like, oh my god. We did little 20 increments of 10 or 20 units, which are very small. It's like probably a third of the height of a stormtrooper, and he'd go all the way down the maps doing that, all the way down the ramp that he wanted.
Yes, Commander.
He did that on Kuat, he did that on Coruscant, he did that on a lot of the urban maps in the mod, and I don't understand it. It's too much. And it wasn't even like he just decided he'd want a ramp in this place and would just do it haphazardly. When he started playing the map, he knew exactly which sections of it would be where. So he'd build up the entire map, and then he'd build the ramps exactly where he wanted them, as opposed to like what some people might do, or what I ended up doing usually, which is build a platform, build a ramp up to whatever next level you wanted, and then build another platform wherever it ended up.
System control achieved. Construction complete.
Cruiser
Building
reporting.
under construction.
But I think that's going to do it for now. I did actually get the Ascendancy Executor model in. So for the next episode, what we might end up doing is I'm going to possibly just sit there and save up the credits for building the Executor.
Construction.
And we will build that, and at the start of next episode we'll have that Executor model. We can just check it out in game here. But since we have all that here, send them over there. and we'll fight them off. Oh, nope. We're going to fight them off of our planet at the start of next time. Oh, that's the fleet that came and attacked us earlier. But either way, that's going to do it for now. Remember to let me know which way you want us to go in the galaxy here. You want to go east into the Rebels and then Maldrude, or do you want us to go into the core and then Pentastar alignment up there? So, thanks again for watching. See you next time, guys.